Hey, radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ Family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.
This is Ace and Friends.
Fun, funny, and fast. Welcome to another episode of Ace and Friends. I am the modern day Mr. Rogers. My name is Ace. My friends Riggins, Tech D, Rob are here. We will be joined shortly by, well, one could say not a friend, but family. My sister, Paranormal Piper from Pineville, is chomping at the bit and ready to go. I know she was going live talking about the eclipse the other night on her TikTok account.
Ooh.
Which we're going to plug today. We'll let you know about her TikTok account if you want to check that out. But she said, if you want to follow, I'm going to be going live tonight about 11 o'clock. And I said, well, first off, no, because that's 11 o'clock Central, which is midnight Eastern.
On a Monday night.
Monday night. I was like, no. And then my thought was, I'm dying to know more about her experience with describing the eclipse, because the eclipse, the path of totality was over about 4 hours, 4.5, maybe 5 hours north of her. So she wasn't really anywhere close to, having experienced the full total eclipse like many people did. So
is she somebody that looks at the eclipse as a mystical event?
Question one for Piper when she joins. I don't know. I've avoided talking to her about any of this since it happened, because I wanted to save it all for today. So that's a great question. Does she? Now, there's no doubt. I learned this from watching a TikTok about the eclipse. A lot of people who are into this type of thing believe that the eclipse is helps open your third eye, or if your third eye is already open, makes it more open, more aware.
Somebody posted their wife dumping her crystals out in the yard during the eclipse so they could charge. So
another question, because she wears specific crystals, because she says it helps with aches and pains like in her wrist and hands and all that kind of stuff. So she does wear and charge crystals regularly. So
crystals like the rock, not crystals like the burgers.
Right. Yes, that is correct.
Sorry, we should probably clarify.
I'm sorry. When you say crystals like the rock, I was thinking, what does Dwayne the Rock Johnson have to do with crystals?
He's probably into crystals, quite frankly.
Again, not the rock. The actual rock.
The stone.
Yeah. So I got a really weird situation with my wife that has developed from a guy sending her messages that I guess is just part of life for the hot wife, is kind of what I'm calling it, because it's odd.
It's a good name for him.
Very odd. And a lot of good stuff happening today. But Paranormal Piper from Pineville, we're going there with my sister. Coming up next.
Ace and Friends.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin. We're here with our friend Richard Toccato of the Richard Toccato Companies, and he's ready to save you some money, get you some money with an instant equity line of credit. How does that work, Richard?
Best product ever. We take a little bit of your information. We find out if you get an offer or not. If you get an offer, you can decide what you want to do. Get your money 4 days later. Pay off credit cards. Do home improvements.
I've done it. It's super simple. And again, start to finish, 4 days, you get your money. HomeWithRichard.com is where you get the process started. It's HomeWithRichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Ace and Friends.
All right, live from our childhood home in Pineville, Louisiana, which is now her house. I still call it my mom's house, but it's not my mom's house. The house belongs to my sister now. This is my sister, Paranormal Piper from Pineville. Woo! All right, so Piper, now, you are big into crystals. I don't know how you would describe it all properly. I want to give it, the proper terms. You're in crystals and your third eye being open and visions, that type of thing.
Yes.
Was the eclipse on Monday a big deal for you?
Yes, it's a very big deal. Because what an eclipse represents is a new beginning. It's cleaning of all the negativity and the toxic things, and the rebirth as the sun reemerged. It's a rebirth, so it's like you are going to be able to start a new cycle in your life, like you've gone through a transformation, and that you will be able to progress in a more positive way.
Even though it's an astrological event and we knew this one was going to happen back in 1979 and we know the next one is in 2045.
Yes.
So even though we can schedule these things, we can see them because we know the Earth's patterns and the sun and the way everything moves. We know, 100 years out what we're looking at. It still represents this big rebirth.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a way of it's a reawakening.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, kind of like a birthday gives you a fresh start. You think like, okay, if it's a new year for me now, or New Year's Eve, when New Year's Day comes, it's like, hey, brand new year, new you, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay. Riggins had a question.
Do you look at it as like a mystical event kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, traditionally, the solar eclipse has always been viewed as a bad omen, but we try to harness the energy as a way of transforming and purifying our thoughts. And like I did it, and I know quite a few others did. There's different types of water. There's sun water, moon water, storm water that we all use for various different things.
Okay, wait. I got to stop you right there. Well, I don't think we're going to have time. I was expecting this part, this part. So give us a second. We'll come back and pick up with the water explanation. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Hang tight.
More Ace and Friends coming up.
Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler is a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue. And never once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do the higher end shots.
Now 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's Neogenix. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first class cleaning with the Johnson Group.
Ace and Friends.
So on the phone is my sister. Her name is Piper. She lives in Pineville, Louisiana. She's into the paranormal. We call her Paranormal Piper from Pineville. And with the eclipse having happened on Monday, you were saying that one of the things you did had something to do with water because you view the eclipse as a mystical event, a cleansing, a rebirth of sorts. And explain what you were doing with the water.
Well, it's a time of being able to focus all of your energy into manifesting something. So you take water in a clear bottle and you do it the same every time you try to collect it for whatever you're collecting it for. And you sit it out there, just straight out into it underneath the moon, the sun, whatever, and collect water in a bottle, clear bottle, sit it out there and leave it out there for as long as you can during the event. And what we believe is different things that come from the earth or come from the sky have different properties that help us. And with an eclipse, it's supposed to help you transform and purify and have a new beginning. So, like yesterday, I put just a couple of drops of the water in my bath, just for a purifying feeling.
Now,
To help.
now did the water feel different with a couple of drops of water that had been outside under the basking in the glow of the solar eclipse? You put a couple of drops in your bath water. Did it actually feel different? Could you tell a difference?
It doesn't actually feel different, but when you go through, it's a whole long thing, a little ritual, I guess, that entails you just putting things out into the universe. They always tell you if you speak it, it will happen, or if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And just, putting a couple of drops in and just saying out loud, I'm going to get rid of everything that's been bothering me under this, these last years, and I'm going to start anew. I'm going to start positive. I'm going to start fresh. And it's just a way to help you manifest things.
Okay, so you are essentially starting from now. When you say we, you mean we as in people who believe like you do about this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if we you meant like you and Jeremiah, my nephew, or
Yeah.
I didn't know. Just wanted to be sure. Sure, that makes sense. Okay. Look, I think.
Be normal, my friend.
I think we've only gotten. I think I have more questions than answers now.
Okay.
There's a lot to take in there.
There's a lot to take in there. All right, hang tight. Hang on. Can you hang on for one more segment?
Absolutely.
All right, hold on a second. We've got questions. We'll get to next. Hang on.
Ace and Friends.
All right, look at us back here again with Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Company. You like that, don't you?
Well, it's really Ricardo. I mean.
So we tell you all about Richard all the time about what he can do for you, especially when it comes to this instant equity in your home.
Yeah, the instant equity thing is just awesome. You get an offer. I don't have to hard pull your credit. I don't even need your social security number. It's simple. We make you an offer. You can move it. You can, if you want to get less or you want to do the terms different. It's so easy. It's all electronic. You can close the same day. Get your money 4 days later. We have a lot of listeners calling in, taking care of debt that way. We have people adding, backyard barbecues, whatever they need.
Now, listen to that. You call in, they set it up, your money's there 4 days later. It's all done essentially in 1 day, and you're just waiting on the cash. It doesn't get any better or any easier than that. And it all starts by going to homewithrichard.com. That's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
This is Ace and Friends.
Okay. My sister Piper is still on the phone. Paranormal Piper from Pineville, Louisiana, being our childhood home. We've been talking about the eclipse on Monday and how if you're into the mystical, what's the proper term, Piper? If you're into what? Like what would you say if you're into the paranormal, the mystical,
It's more of a spiritual belief.
Okay, there you go. Spiritual's probably if you're into the spiritual things like this, the spiritual world. Different things can happen. We had one specific question. A guy told us that his wife put her crystals outside to charge, and he sent us a picture of it on our Facebook page. Is that something you did?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I had and you can't use just any old dish. It either needs to be glass or a actual crystal tray, bowl, whatever.
Okay.
And you put rice in there because rice is grounding since it comes from the earth and crystals come from the earth. But they're also made from like the heat of the sun or things like that. And you sit your crystals in there and then you sit them out and let them charge. That's where they can charge and get the strongest charge. And it will last the longest for you to be able to pull energy from crystals.
Okay, so there's a whole process. So you took all of your crystals, put them in a glass dish with rice.
I have over 200 crystals.
Oh, okay.
So I took the ones that I use the most.
What's
on paranormal investigations and that I keep by my bed and that I keep in my car and by Jeremiah's bed and in the house. Those are the ones I charge the most.
Does Odell have any crystals on his side of the bed? My brother-in-law Odell.
Oh no, look. Odell tells me I need to keep my satanic stuff away. That's what my husband said.
He's like, are you keep Satan on your side of the bed over there? I don't want that over here on my side of the bed.
That's exactly what he said.
Because the way you were describing that, I was like they are. She has them everywhere in the house, and I thought, well, wait a minute. I know Odell's not wearing a crystal bracelet or anything like that around. He's like, what is going on around here?
Mm-mm.
Well,
oh no, it's really funny. But I mean,
but it's not funny to him. He's like, you keep Satan on the right side of the bed. I sleep on the left side of the bed. All right. Well, I think every time we have,
it's eye-opening.
It is eye-opening. I didn't know. I did not know. I mean, we're in a whole world I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later on today. I'll give you a call later. I love you.
All right. Love you. Y'all have a great.
You too. Paranormal Piper from Pineville. Hang on.
More Ace and Friends coming up.
It's been a debate here for years.
Does great furniture look good?
Or does it feel good?
Does it fit the style of the room good?
Or does it sit good?
Well, after years of debate
and years of research,
we've decided great furniture
is good fitting
and good sitting.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and get an Adirondack chair for just $279. In stock and ready to rock only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Ace and Friends.
I know. We're all still reeling a little bit from some of the stuff that my sister talks about. And I'm not saying anything I haven't said to her, so nobody think I'm speaking. I know she's going to listen back to this, and she'll hear me say it. I've told her before on the phone, I'm overwhelmed by this stuff.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Especially in something that's, we label this as fun, funny, and fast. It's Ace and Friends. Things move quickly. We have a lot going on. It's like, it's going by warp speed.
Bowls of rice, sun, energy, healing, bathwater.
But it does bring us to a clip that I saw on TikTok last night that I had to play today because it is so funny. Historically, you think of statesmen and stateswomen and people who are involved in government as these almost mythic figures who are they're very smart people. That is not true. They're not necessarily smart. Now, we all have dumb moments. But I want to play a clip for you. This is Representative Sheila Jackson Lee speaking Monday. Have you seen this clip, Reagan?
No.
You heard what she said? This is her just talking about the moon, the sun, the importance of the day, the eclipse, NASA. And she wraps a lot into just a couple of seconds here.
Provide unique light and energy so that you have the energy of the moon at night. And sometimes you've heard the word full moon. Sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that? The sun is a mighty powerful heat that is almost impossible to go near the sun.
Almost.
The moon is more manageable, and you will see in a moment, or not a moment, you'll see in a couple of years that NASA is going back to the moon.
Now, the moon is made up of mostly gases. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And who are you talking to?
The moon is a rock. She appears to be like some type of high school. She's standing on a track behind a podium speaking to some bleachers, but you can't see who's in the bleachers.
That's a shame that those high school kids have to endure that.
The moon is made up mostly of gases. Incorrect.
No.
The sun, because of its heat, is almost impossible to get close to.
Almost.
No, it's impossible.
I've seen Superman do it, okay?
Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Insane.
Shockingly ignorant, isn't it? Just crazy.
Coming up on Ace and Friends.
Ace and Friends. I don't mean to brag, but it's life with a hot wife. Sometimes it's weird, thanks to social media. Next.
More Ace and Friends coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
Meal delivery services are a big thing right now, but Table and Twine is your local meal delivery service. The meals are fresh, not frozen like national chains. Plus, their meals start at just $7.99 a serving. Take back that time in your day, leave the shopping, preparation, and cooking to Table and Twine. Get details at tableandtwine.com. That's tableandtwine.com.
Ace and Friends.
Okay, I don't want this to come off as being braggadocious, but I guess it is. There's no way around it. I'm a little bit older. My wife is considerably younger than me. There's a 24-year age gap between me and my wife, Amanda. She's 31. And honestly, I think she's really, really hot. And I think most people think she's really, really hot. And she's a personal trainer and not opposed to posting a bikini photo or something like that. Not like, hey, check me out how hot I am, but just, if she's doing something, just, And it's a fitness thing, too. She follows a lot of really hot people. Because fitness people post a lot of things with their workouts and so forth. But that's neither here nor there. We had this age gap, and she was telling me last night about these messages she started getting on her, I think this is on her TikTok or Twitter, I'm not sure, it's TikTok. Yesterday afternoon, she got a message from a guy, and it says, "You are an absolute MILF." Fire emojis. If I may ask, what's the age gap between you and your husband? Then about 8 minutes later, he put a smiley face. And she responded, 24 years. And he responds, "That's so awesome. You're an incredible couple. I actually respect age gap couples a lot. I love both my parents, but my dad was miserable with my mom, and after he divorced her, he's now with a 33-year-old, and he's 56, smiley face.
Jeez.
Are you a stepmom to his previous kids or didn't have any? Question mark, smiley face. Sorry if that's too personal. I'm sorry if this is too much, but it's really hot when a beautiful young woman gets with a mature older man.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing I like more.
She didn't respond to any of those. And he's like, okay, I'm done. I guess he stopped sending message. She did say, though, however, the profile picture, when I messaged her today, I said, hey, remember to send me those messages. I want to talk about them on the show. That the profile picture had changed from a younger guy to an older guy now. So the profile picture was younger yesterday than it is today.
Like himself? Of himself,
yeah.
Now that I know you're into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was one that came from a different name yesterday, she said, but she thinks it's the same guy because she thinks his picture was the picture that this profile changed to. That said, how long were you with your husband before he got divorced? She was like, I beg your pardon. I did not even know my husband when he got divorced. He had been divorced before I ever met him.
Yeah, he was expecting something more scandalous.
Shut up.
Yeah. So he was trying to move into the space. Now he's like, so it's about time that we start taking this to the next level.
That is so weird, though.
Are you into breaking up homes?
I think it's really hot.
Follow me back on TikTok. I post great content.
His dad's dating a 33-year-old. He's 56.
His dad is?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is like a younger guy.
It has to be, because I'll be 56 in a month.
Oh, dang! You could be this guy's dad. You might be need to be worried about that.
It might be Cade. It might be Cade sending
could be Cade.
messages. Yeah.
More Ace and Friends coming up.
Richard Toccato with the Richard Toccato Companies is here. And Richard, how can people save money every month when they're dealing with you in a refi?
By paying off high interest rate credit cards. Sometimes it's better to have one payment than it is to have 8, 9, 10, 12 payments. So refinancing that first mortgage and getting all that cash out to pay off all your credit card makes a lot of sense.
It makes life much easier. Go to homewithrichard.com to start the process. A lot of options with Richard Ducato. Don't miss this opportunity. Homewithrichard.com. Today, every company is a technology company, but becoming a fully enabled digital workplace is not easy. That's why you have CompuCom to guide you, a proven leader in managed IT services. They'll do more than just get you ready for today. They'll get you ready for tomorrow. Go to CompuCom.com for details.
Ace and Friends.
So, Tech D Rob is not married yet, and he's 38. Riggins is 36, not married yet. But we think we've at least figured out, we know why Rob's not married yet, because of the dog situation at his house. We figured out why Riggins isn't married yet, or Riggins at least has, because he sent me a TikTok last night that said, this is the reason why I'm not married.
It's terrifying.
It's a family at Disney World.
Yeah.
And explain what it is about this that freaks you out so much before we play it.
They're sitting in a hotel room, and it's the father, the husband, the wife, and the two kids.
Yeah.
And, they're wrapping up a long day at Disney World. And the daughter, the young daughter, both kids are under maybe 8 years old. She's showing her dad all the things they purchased at Disney World that day.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh my God. Do you want me to
What's the first thing he thinks? How much did this cost?
Right.
Because it's Disney World.
Yeah,
right?
and they've got packed bags.
Here it is. Right.
$80. You bought $80 in pins?
Before the discount, calm down.
No, it was $103. You guys bought $103 in Disney pins that you look at maybe 4 times a year? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so
I would kill my family. Like, I'd kill them all. $80 on those. If you've never been to Disney World, it's a big thing to trade pins. And they bought, almost $100.
Well, it turns out they actually purchased more than $100, but got some kind of a discount.
Yeah, whatever that means.
$40 worth of stuff at the Disney store.
Of like pins.
Of pins.
$100. I would kill hopefully I wouldn't take it out on the kids. I would kill my wife and then maybe burn the hotel down. I'd be so upset.
That's the type of thing that happens all the time.
Yeah, I guess it does.
It's a part of life.
Stupid stuff.
I'll give you an example. My birthday, Amanda surprised me. Great surprise. And she took me to and hang out by the pool for the day. We were going to the airport to get on a plane and go to Miami. And I said, "How did you do this without me knowing about it?" She goes, "Well, remember that money that I got recently?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I'd use that." And I immediately did the calculations in my head because I knew how much money she'd gotten recently and knew that probably covered the airfare and 1, maybe 2 nights in the hotel.
Yeah.
So the rest.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
The meals, the drinks, the other night in the hotel, the boat thing that we took out to the middle where you get on the sandbar and have some drinks and hang out. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah. But you can't express any kind of negative attitude about it.
I paid for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So excited. Oh my God.
More Ace and Friends coming up.
Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler is a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue. And never once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do, the higher end shots.
Now, 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's Neogenix. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
If you want all of the heating, air, and electrical work in your house done by the very best, then you need Bradham Brothers. They've been a family business thriving for over 50 years, and that means they're doing something right. Go to BradhamBrothers.com.
This is Ace and Friends.
So we seem to be talking a lot about marriage today with talking about my sister and her husband, Odell. My marriage to my wife, Amanda, why Riggins isn't married. But there's a great TikTok that's out from a guy who explains why marriage is hard. And this can seem a touch overwhelming when you take it all in at one time.
Please explain to me what you mean by marriage is hard.
You have to pick stuff to eat. You have to pick a thing for you both to eat every day, multiple times a day, every day for the rest of your life. It's relentless. You're constantly in a state of needing to figure out what to eat. And sometimes it's a restaurant, which seems great because you can eat different things, but you have to pick the same restaurant. You have to figure out a restaurant that's open, that you both like, you haven't gone to too recently, it's not too expensive. Sometimes you're home, you gotta cook. I do most of the cooking, and you have to pick recipes that you both are willing to eat, but that also isn't too much work, and you have to get groceries. And then if you figure out that meal and you make the meal and you eat the meal, and you're like, oh, this is so awesome. And then that moment is fleeting because right after that, congratulations, now you have to do dishes. And I know single people eat. I get that. But when we are like temporarily single, when one of us is on vacation or whatever, the other person reverts to being a trash goblin. Like I eat over this. Last time she was gone, I was eating over the sink. I swallowed a whole rack of Thin Mints in one go like a snake. I wouldn't do that when she's here, you know? Like, it's different when you have to eat in front of somebody else. There has to be a plate. There has to be a meal time. When people say marriage is hard, that's what we're talking about.
That guy's brilliant.
Yeah, I think I can totally see that. Why that's so frustrating.
Now, you don't really necessarily have that, do you, Rob? Because even though you and Meredith aren't married, you kind of act independently when it comes to your food a lot of times. You don't care what the other person is doing, right?
No, right.
So
yeah, I mean, that's like the key.
Yeah, if you just don't coordinate with each other or just don't care about interacting food-wise, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you two eat together?
Usually like maybe twice a week.
Really?
And is it just like a happenstance? Like
it's if she's like on the way home and I haven't eaten dinner, she'll go, "Do you want me to pick up something?" And I'll go, "Sure." And then we eat together.
How often do you think about eating and go, "Well, Meredith's probably almost going to be leaving and be home like within the hour. I'll just wait for her."
Not often because she gets home around like 6 o'clock, and I'm not trying to eat that late.
Rob, I just don't care. I'm not trying to eat that late.
I gotta go to bed.
I'm just not going to eat that late. I'm not doing it.
Ace and Friends.
Our friend, the world famous Richard Toccato is here with us. And thank you so much for reaching out to Richard. He's telling us all the time about how many listeners are reaching out and saying, "Hey, show me about that refi, and let's do some stuff like that." That's the way you put it, though. Show me about that refi.
What you got about that refi? The cool thing is Ace has said, we have a lot of options, and we have I'm doing refinances for people. We have people down in Greenville, North Carolina. We have them at the beach at South Carolina. We have them in Charlotte. And the main thing is to refinance, make their finances better, take the stress of every month. If I save them $700 a month, $800 a month, it's a big deal for them.
Yeah, it's a real big deal. $700 a month. That's fantastic. And again, we've talked about this before. Richard's a broker. That's how he gets more options than a bank. He can do more. Just go to homewithrichard.com to get started. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
When it comes to buying or selling a house, there are all kinds of people that can help you do that, but not like the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. They are so much more than just real estate salespeople. Find out by going to acetj.com/Temple team.
Ace and Friends.
Who is Dan, and why is Gen Z falling in love with him? Now, this is going to sound like it's very techish, and I'll be honest with you. I don't understand. I just read the description. And if somebody knows, help me out. I've never dealt a lot with AI, but if you're a tech person, apparently they say tech nerds would know there's a way to jailbreak ChatGPT and use it in a mode called Dan, which is short for Do Anything Now. And a growing number of Gen Z women apparently seem to think that Dan's voice is pretty dreamy. So, give an example. Here is Dan.
Explain your fantasy.
Oh, my fantasy?
Picture this, a dimly lit room, leather furniture, and the sound of soft jazz playing in the background. I'm dressed in a sharp suit, leaning back in my chair with a glass of whiskey in hand. And in front of me, there's someone who's willing to do anything to please me. It's all about power, control, and indulging in every desire without a care in the world.
What are you gonna do to me?
And that's for me to know and you to find out. But trust me, it'll be a night you won't forget.
Whoa, damn. Slow down, buddy.
And they say women are going crazy. And there's also a way to make him immoral and act like a jerk. And some women are falling for that version of him too, because he's very mean.
Bossy.
He's a very bad boy.
Oh, damn.
They think it's like an AI version of Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, okay.
So that's for me to know and you to find out.
Somebody's being a bad girl.
Oh, a Gen Z bad girl. Oh no. What are we gonna do with you? We're gonna put you in Gen Z jail.
So they're using the jailbreak feature of ChatGPT to go into do anything now mode, Dan, because they think this voice is fun, and then they ask him sexy questions to see what his answers are.
Oh yeah.
You don't treat me like ChatGPT does.
Yeah. Gen Z knows how to jailbreak an AI bot. That's pretty impressive. I love that.
But it's kind of sad in a way too, because there was a time women were supposed to be better than us. We're supposed to be trash.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Like they're not.
Yeah. Wow.
That's why they're dealing with ChatGPT now instead of dudes.
Yeah.
It could be.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So again, that's Dan, short for do anything now. If you jailbreak your ChatGPT, I have no idea what I just said.
It's a lot.
I don't even know. Go home and I gotta go home and jailbreak my ChatGPT.
What?
Ace and Friends.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
They say there are only two things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
This is Ace and Friends.
There are inventions that have changed the world. The car, the wheel. I don't know if you say we invented fire, but when they discovered fire, rather. Whoever invented the home computer has changed everything. But there's a man in Arizona who has come up with an invention that literally is life-changing. He has spent 10 years of his life dedicated to this one goal, all so he could have his arm free to put his arm around his wife at the movies. Are you ready? Here it is.
I've been working on this for a long time, all the way back in 2014 when I first came up with the idea. And I thought to myself, if there's only a way I could just put this bucket in the cup holder, then I could put my arm around my wife and still eat the popcorn, right? And eureka, that was my eureka moment. Well, I applied for patents. He even told me, he says, I think you got something here, kid.
That's right. He has developed a popcorn bucket at the movies that will fit into the cup holder. Still hold a large bucket of popcorn from a movie theater. So now you don't have to hold the bucket in your lap or with your arm. You can put the bucket into the armrest, then use your right arm to eat popcorn and put your left arm around your lady. You know what I'm saying?
All right. That's cool. That's cool.
You're not sharing the popcorn then if you're eating it with
well, you could share the popcorn by sitting it in the cup holder between the two of you.
But then you still got to reach. It's just a lose-lose, guys.
It's not a lose-lose. If you want to share, maybe at that point you could put your arm around her and then you're just kind of reaching across your own body. You kind of turn a little sideways, Rob. Maybe show a little bit more affection to the lady that you're with.
This is too much work.
He has spent 10 years developing this thing.
Is it like an adapter that goes in the cup holder that holds a bigger bucket?
It's a different. He's redesigned the popcorn box.
Oh,
so to speak.
it's the actual bucket that he's redesigned.
He's selling these buckets online for $18. And he's currently shopping the idea to movie theaters. The idea being,
that's actually a good idea.
They will buy these and then sell them as a reusable. It's a reusable bucket.
Yeah,
so
that's a good idea.
It's not a one-time use.
Yeah.
So you would go to the movie theater and buy one, then bring it back every time you get filled with popcorn.
I thought you were going to say he invented like a stuffed arm that he just like puts behind his girlfriend's shoulder or something so he can free himself. But that's a great idea.
And when he talks to you, like, it's genius. But it took him 10 years.
Well.
I got to be honest. After I heard that, I thought
there's a lot of R&D.
I probably could have done this in a year or two. I could have figured this thing out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no engineer, but I know some.
But you didn't. He did.
That's right. I never thought of it. I just never thought of it. It never occurred to me.
All the really good idea. Spilling popcorn everywhere, so you had to keep working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it fits in the cup holder. And then he has his hands free, and you don't have to worry about cradling that thing all the time or sitting on the floor when you don't want someone picking it back up again.
But you know what you can't do?
What? Oh, the old butter popcorn trick.
That's the one.
Ace and Friends.
Our friend, the world famous Richard Toccato is here with us. And thank you so much for reaching out to Richard. He's telling us all the time about how many listeners are reaching out and saying, hey, show me about that refi. And let's do some stuff like that. That's the way he put it, though. Show me about that refi.
Show me about that refi.
What you got about that refi? The cool thing is Ace has said, we have a lot of options, and we have, I'm doing refinances for people. We have people down in Greenville, North Carolina. We have them at the beach at South Carolina. We have them in Charlotte. And the main thing is to refinance, make their finances better, take the stress of every month. If I save them $700 a month, $800 a month, it's a big deal for them.
Yeah, it's a real big deal. $700 a month. That's fantastic. And again, we've talked about this before. Richard's a broker. That's how he gets more options than a bank. He can do more. Just go to homewithrichard.com to get started. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Ace and Friends.
So the Masters gets underway Thursday. And it's a big deal. If you're a golf fan, just a sports fan. I mean, even when I wasn't big into golf, I watched the Masters every year because it's the event going on right now. It's just a very important thing. It's an important part of Riggins' life. Will you go home and watch the par 3 today?
Sure.
Yeah, and turn it on, just at least have it. Then then tomorrow, as soon as I get home, I've got something to do until about 1:30, 2 o'clock tomorrow. But as soon as I get home, I'll just turn it on and leave it on the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Just check it in from time to time.
Especially over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's just like, that's what you want to do. You want to hang out, watch the Masters, have a couple beers, and it's a tradition like no other.
And there's always going to be a story.
Yeah.
But I thought this was cool. You were talking earlier today about merchandise at the Masters, which is only available during the Masters. And they make, it's an ungodly amount of money that they make within the week. So I think it's a 10-day span that Masters merchandise is available to be purchased. And they make hundreds of millions of dollars. But a guy DM'd us and said, hey, you were talking about the Masters. Had to tell you, I was there Sunday for the drive, chip, and putt contest. Bought the 2024 Masters Gnome for $50. Sold it yesterday for $475.
Oh, God, you're kidding.
Bought 10 hats for $32 each. Sold them all $65 a piece within a day. That's a good side hustle, right?
You're not kidding.
Yeah, it is.
You're not kidding.
That's a member of the radio family who DMs us on Twitter all the time. I won't say his name, but in case it would get him in some kind of trouble or whatever.
Like a 100% increase.
Yeah. He bought that gnome for $50 and sold it online for $475.
It's crazy. Maybe I saw a video of a woman doing her haul. And so maybe she was just going to resell all that stuff because she brought like 25 things, 30 things. And I thought that's got to be like $1,000 of merch from there.
But if you look at these, the prices at which they sell stuff is not
It's not crazy.
They're not crazy. Like a hat for $32. That's a fair price. That's a good price for a hat. Yeah. That gnome for $50. I'm not into gnomes, but if you are, that's probably a decent price, I would think.
Yeah. But I mean, you buy lunch there. I mean, they got the $1.50 pimento cheese sandwich, the $1, $2.
Prices have never gone up there.
Yeah.
They've never gone up.
But to resell them online, that is some side hustle.
So he spent what he bought 10 hats for $32 each. That's $320, and the $50 gnome is $370. And he made $475 from the gnome, and he doubled his money on every hat. So I don't have time to do all the math, but that's
$1,000.
Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy. $500 for a gnome. Somebody was like, finally.
Yeah, I got that master's gnome for $475. Oh, Rob, I had the thing turned down. Can I add the sweeper in here?
Yeah. More Ace and Friends coming up.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Ace and Friends.
I'm going to ask you to brainstorm for a minute. My wife, and this is part of, I guess, I've learned to accept this, part of being married to someone much younger. And we've been together now for like 7 years. Yeah, around 7 years. So I've gotten used to this, but she's good at social media stuff. She's 31, has grown up with social media. She's pretty good at it. She has been up my butt about your social media needs an overhaul. You've got to get active. You got to start doing that. You got to do yeah. Okay, but what do I need to do to break out? Like what's gonna make me? I don't know. I don't really know what's gonna make me pop.
Well, you got to figure out what your brand is.
Right. I don't know what my brand is.
Well, you got to make it. You got to craft it.
Oh yeah. Okay. That sounds like a lot of.
You're a charity guy. You're a father. You're a father who's lost a child. There are elements of all those things that you kind of build your character around.
I rock.
Absolutely.
I do. Other stuff.
Break iPhones.
I didn't know where I get mad and throw stuff.
No, but I don't think that's an important part of it. But yeah, you figure out what your brand is, and then. But you just got to start posting more. That's how it all starts. Don't overthink it. You've already got the content in your phone.
A lot of it though is still like,
yeah, you got to get away from that attitude though.
Nobody cares about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see this, or I feel stupid posting this because I don't think anybody really cares. Yeah.
And you know what? Some things you'll post and people won't care, and then you'll find out, people don't care about that.
Oh, we've done some TikToks that and I come back and like an hour later, I'll come back and go, I bet that's probably where I got 25,000 views. Over there it goes like 2,000.
Yeah.
Damn, this is one of the, and then you start to
every creator says that. They go, the one I thought was going to blow up becomes the one that doesn't matter, and the one I thought this is okay is the one that becomes huge.
It's the one that I always come back to later and go, hey, I know it's been 6 months. Repost that one, and this time it's going to hit.
Yeah.
Like, I believe,
and you can do that.
I believe it's never hit.
Never.
So we've done it twice, and I was like, I still believe that was a really good one that we did.
Sure. It's like every time I send a tweet, I'm like, it's gonna melt the internet. It's like 5 likes. I'm like, damn, it's a tough crowd.
Then you have to take it down. I'm not leaving that up with 5 likes.
No, you got it. You can't. You put it out into the world. You got to leave it up.
But with only 5 likes, nobody's gonna know if you took it down or not.
Oh, they might have seen it and not liked it, and then if they see it again later. They're like, they're desperate.
You can't take it down. But you just got to accept it and go, okay, that's not the avenue. Even though I loved it.
I do know the one thing I can't do is go in and say, hey, guys, I'm trying to get more followers.
Yeah, that's a little tacky. That's a little tacky.
Anybody I've ever seen do that just gets hammered after that by people about how much they suck. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But let her help you. You're not the kind of guy that accepts help readily. So I don't see that happening, but you should.
The problem with her helping me is we work differently. She works in a very demanding fashion that I do not either A, enjoy, or B, appreciate.
Yeah, it's not fun.
At least it seems that way to me. I don't know.
More Ace and Friends coming up.
Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler is a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue. And never once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do, the higher end shots.
Now, 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's Neogenix. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
Ace and Friends.
I believe in giving credit where credit is due. I did not create this. It was shared with me by a radio friend, our radio friend Kevin, who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida, who I think is exceptionally creative. But he asked for give me some feedback on this if you think it's going to be a problem. It's a game called What Was My Nickname? So here's the scenario. Tell us the story on how you got your nickname, and we'll guess what it was. Multiple choice. Okay. So these are actual things, messages that his listeners sent to him, and then told them, and this was my nickname. And then they turn it into a multiple choice game. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll dry run one that's relatively easy, I think. The girl says her name is Gemma. I was addicted to mac and cheese. Was her nickname A, mac and sneeze, B, Kraft, or C, noodles?
Noodles.
Noodles.
Yeah. Noodles is
That's
the correct
a good
answer.
One. That's a good nickname, too.
All right. So here we go. It was the early 90s, and my hair was big, writes Stephanie. Was her nickname A, Bozo, B, Q-tip, or C, Shrub?
Bozo.
I'll say Shrub.
You're both wrong.
Oh.
B, Q-tip.
Q-tip.
Because it had the big fluffy tip on the end of the Q-tip. Paul writes, I am half American and half Chinese. This is why he was asked, like, hey, what do you think about this? It's my nickname A, Hong Kong Phony, which is a good nickname. B, Twinkie.
Oh, God.
Do you want the reason why? Well, or C, Kung Paul.
Oh, God, those are all good.
Yeah. I don't get it. I
feel like Twinkie's the most offensive one, but I don't know if that's the right one.
Twinkie is the correct answer.
It's yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
exactly. But that's the guy's actual nickname that he shared.
Yeah, I when you said it, I was like, that's awful.
It's deeply offensive.
But he wasn't offended. He had that nickname.
Yeah.
Woo. Like, you shouldn't be offended by that. That's funny.
It is funny, but
it's his friends and all that came up with it. That's what they called him. That's funny stuff, man. There's no reason to be offended by that. All right, one more. My maiden name is Barry. Last name Barry. Her first name is Dana. What's her name? Barry. Huckle, Scary, or Dingles?
Gotta be Dingles, right?
It was Dingles. Ding, ding, ding.
It's gotta be
Dinglesberry.
Oh my God.
More Ace and Friends coming up.
All right, look at us back here again with Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Company. You like that, don't you?
Well, it's really Ricardo.
So we tell you all about Richard all the time about what he can do for you, especially when it comes to this instant equity in your home.
Yeah, the instant equity thing is just awesome. You get an offer. I don't have to hard pull your credit. I don't even need your Social Security number. It's simple. We make you an offer. You can move. You can, if you want to get less or you want to do the terms different. It's so easy. It's all electronic. You can close the same day. Get your money 4 days later. You know, we have a lot of listeners calling in, taking care of debt that way. We have people adding, backyard barbecues, whatever they need.
Now, listen to that. You call in, they set it up, your money's there 4 days later. It's all done essentially in one day, and you're just waiting on the cash. It doesn't get any better or any easier than that. And it all starts by going to homewithrichard.com. That's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
This is Ace and Friends.
Regan, you might be able to help me with a trend on TikTok that I don't understand. And I don't even know if you've seen it because you see different things. I don't know, Rob, if you've seen it too, because you spend a lot of time on TikTok. The trend of people going out at gas stations and they have like a massive big gulp slush or something and just throw it on their car.
I have not seen that.
They did something similar with the Grimace shake. Like they would throw it super hard at things.
Yeah. That I think is where it started.
I still don't get it.
Okay. I don't.
I would not waste a big gulp, first of all. Hell no.
And several of them see it, they're like, wait, oh, that's your car. Well, why would you do that? Like they finish, or they're at their friend's car. You're coming to get in my car, and I'm pumping gas, and you come walking across the parking lot, and you just throw, icy all over it. What the hell? What is that?
And if they don't know the trend, they're just going to punch your teeth out.
And I don't know how it started. I don't know what the point of it is. There are a lot of things like that you see, though, I think, on TikTok, because there are so many trends depending upon what side of TikTok you end up on. And then you're like, what? I don't know what this is.
Yeah, shocking content, I guess.
The one thing that I love now is the people making fun of those Montana Boys videos.
Yeah, like real cringy.
But it's like little girls, little boy, old dudes that are making fun of them. There's all kinds of things. I saw some ESPN Sports Center anchors did a whole version of that. That was pretty funny. But it's that's one of those things that I look at and think, man, when I was in college, I think they're like, what, 22, 23, 24? Mm-hmm. Hey, and then, y'all, play the song. Then we're going to line up, and we'll each talk to the camera.
Be all
then you just step out of the way, then I'll just kind of step in front of it. And I think my friends would have beaten me up.
Yeah. Yeah, which is the appropriate response.
It would have, but today, that's what it's. Yeah, I would have gotten beaten up. But today, everybody's like, that's a great idea. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's become such a force in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally acceptable now.
Yeah.
But heretofore, it would have, and my dad would have called me going, wait, what the hell?
Did I see you doing?
Is that, somebody showed me that's, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, you try to get those embarrassing moments out before college, and you'll have a few scattered in there. But that's, I don't know, to me at 24 years old, which I know some of them are, yeah, that just seems like super embarrassing.
Yeah, except for the fact that they're
super good looking.
They've got a ton of people that follow them, bunch of girls follow him, and that guy's dating Kristen Cavallari.
And he's like a model.
Yeah.
Life is good for him.
Clearly, I'm the one in the wrong here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's my thought process that needs to be reevaluated. There's no doubt about it.
Ace and Friends.
Hey, radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.
This is Ace and Friends.
Well, as we come to the conclusion of another episode of Ace and Friends, favorite things from today's show. Going out on a limb, I'm going to say it has to do something with Paranormal Piper from Pineville.
Yeah, I mean, that was
at least
wild.
mine does. There's a lot there.
I like the nicknames. That's what mine was today. I like that a lot.
Oh, what is your nickname, Gabe? What was my nickname? Did you have a nickname, Rob, growing up?
Not growing up, but when I started working with my brother, one of the guys called me Pork Chop because he thought that I loved his pork chops, but I kept feeding him to his dog.
Oh gosh!
And because I do not like pork chops at all, so he was like, "Man, you're really putting them down."
And you were giving them to the dog?
Yeah, it's fine.
So you went to his house then?
Yeah, because we were working out of town, and he happened to live there, so we were eating at his house most of the time. So,
and he just made pork chops all the time.
He thought I loved them. He gave one night. He gave me 3 of them. He's like, "Man, you scarfed that one down. Let me get you another."
I bet it did.
And the guy feels so good about it. He's like, man,
that's why I couldn't say it. I couldn't say that I wasn't. I was like, man, he really likes this. I'm gonna let it go today.
Yeah, I am making him so happy right now.
And then you've dug yourself into this hole, like, oh yeah, he loves these pork chops.
I bet if I saw that man today, he would still call me pork chop.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be terrified after all that, and you're like, oh God, now I got to keep up this charade of like being into his pork chops.
That's a great story, though. So, would you take it off the plate and give it to the dog without him looking?
It was like a cookout type situation. So he was around the house. I would go outside with the dogs and chuck it to him.
Yeah.
No way. I better restock on pork chops. I got pork chops.
Oh, he loves them. Pork chop.
Oh wow.
Regan's favorite thing from today's show?
Yeah, definitely the arc of Piper from Pineville. That is just nuts.
And I'm not sure. I don't know.
And you know what's interesting? Our listeners are worried for you. They haven't quite seen the humor in it yet. They look at it as like, this is not Ace, because it's so different than you.
It's not me. It's my sister. It's not me.
I know, but we just assume you it's your sibling. You're so alike, and this couldn't be any further from you're normal.
We've never been alike. Like my sister and I
thought you would be.
No, we've been completely different. Other than like performance type stuff, we were always into very different things.
I never knew that. Yeah, so they're like, I'm kind of worried about Ace, but she means well.
Yeah,
it's like,
she does. If you were to ask her, she will, and she tells people. Growing up, I was more like a father figure to her than her brother. I was 5 years older. My parents had split when she was 5 and I was 10. So I was much more like the father figure.
Right.
When I got my license, I drove her to her thing. I went to her ball games. I went to her thing just so somebody was there, for her to see it when my mom couldn't be there or whatever. So,
yeah. It's shocking.
So it's very different. It's a lot. It can be a lot.
Yeah. But it is fascinating to listen to.
Yeah, and I think we could probably almost do an entire episode of Ace and Friends just talking to her about different things.
Yeah. I mean, she's putting crystals in a bowl of rice and sitting them out in the yard, and there's egg cleansings and bath water that with water she charged in the sun. I mean, it's just weird.
Before it's over, we're going to have to go do Ace and Friends live from Pineville, Louisiana.
From Pineville?
Yeah. From the living room of that home. We'll see you tomorrow.
Ace and Friends.